All right, everybody, this is Ross. In today's video, I have a number of announcements I want to make for you guys. Actually, there's 4 separate announcements that I think are equally as important, so please stay to the end of this video. I have a request of you guys at the end that I hope that you guys can help me out with. Number 1 is actually, you kind of heard about this already on Wednesday, our Wednesday video, is that I've been a little stressed, a little down, very busy, and the videos and other aspects of my life have honestly had to have taken a back seat to what has been going on in my life. And that's basically, I've been trying to really cram as hard as I can for the CPA exam, stay really healthy and happy and stress-free during this time. I've been exercising and eating well and trying to sleep as much as possible to then prepare for this exam. In addition to all the information that has to get stuffed in my brain, it's insane the amount of information that they expect from you on these exams is actually, it's incredible. So I've just kind of had to have, just have some things, like I said, take a back seat to what it is that to normal things in my life to this exam. So luckily for you guys, but even luckier for me, we're past that now. So we have a lot more free time, and our videos will just basically be in full force to what they have been over the last whatever. So that's announcement number 1. We're back in business, baby. Number 2, we are going to be posting more on the blog, and I've been saying this for like a year now, but this is our blog, figboss.com. Check it out. You can go down here to the bottom and you can put in your email, and you just are a part of the newsletter that will essentially just notify you every time I make a blog post. Obviously you don't have to, but I'm going to try to really direct more traffic to the blog. Keep up the information on the YouTube channel, but one of the things I have been straying away from in the last few months is actually putting out information on the blog instead of putting it normally on the Fig communities. So I have been a part of rfigs.com for a very long time. I joined, it's almost been 5 years now. If I go to let's see, if I go to a recent post of mine, you can see I joined of October of 2015. So it's been almost 5 years exactly, and I have 2,700 posts. So I've put a lot of time and effort into this forum, into this community. I highly recommend you guys join, by the way. But I just don't have the energy, and I don't have the time anymore. There's many reasons, in all honesty, but a big one really is that some aspects of my life just have to take a back seat to this exam. I have to really buckle down, and I have to really dedicate, unfortunately, as I've learned over the last few years of taking this exam, a lot more time than I thought. So I have to really dedicate a huge chunk of my time, and some things just have to take a back seat. It's not like I'll be gone forever away from the forum. It's not like I will never post anything, but I just will be posting a lot of the information. Like, this is my most recent post here, which we did post on the blog. So from now on, most likely I will probably just post it on the blog, and if I want to share it on our Figs, I'll probably just post a link on our Figs for people to see if they want to see it. But if you're a member of our Figs and you like the things that I post, I would just go to the blog, because that's where the information is going to be from now on, for the most part. Not only does it actually help me to post on my blog, but it's also just less work. There's many reasons, and I could get into a lot of them here. I'll just get into one additional reason, besides the fact that it's a lot of time, and I don't have the energy. If you've noticed, really over the last 3 months, as I said, I have not been posting much on our Figs really at all, and it's been the height of the Fig season, and I haven't posted much. So like I said, I haven't had time. But what you'll see, at least another reason I'll share with you guys, I should say, is that the community has sort of changed, and it's not necessarily what it used to be. I'll give you one little story just to kind of describe some history of our figs. And again, it's not like I'm bashing our figs right now, or it's not like I don't like it, or I don't think the moderators are doing a good job, or that Will's being away from the forum is a bad thing. It's just that the community for me is not necessarily the same. The group of people is not necessarily the same, because it's not. The first 3 years that I joined, you make a lot of friends. You obviously you do a lot of trading, you meet a lot of people. I've even met a lot of people back then in person. You want to try to learn as much as you can, so you talk to as many people as possible. So you just make a lot of friends, and I made a lot of friends back then, and I'm still friends with a lot of them today. But a lot of those friends of mine are just not a part of the community anymore. They just have moved on, like I have, because they just don't have time. They have kids, they have other obligations, they have other things in their life, and certain things just have to take a back seat. So that's sort of exactly what I'm doing, with a little caveat though, in that I'm just not going to completely abandon and not give you guys any of the information I have, which I really don't like, by the way. And instead, I'm going to be putting the information here on my blog. So, I'll give you one quick story, because I could really get into this and talk about this for 30 minutes. But this was a thread that was created years ago when I first joined. And there was a guy named DB Johnson, who his name was Bryant, actually, his real life name. And Bryant he used to make leather-bound books. He used to be really great with leather. He used to make leather-bound books. He used to make grafting knives. He was really handy and could really use his hands to make some interesting stuff. And we had another member on the forum. His name was Mike Taverna, also known as Fabio. He had many names. And Mike was actually given a leather-bound book by Bryant on the forum one day, and it was inscribed. It was really well done, in that I could probably find a photo of it somewhere, but it had, in color and detail. It was a photo on the front of the book, on the front of a journal. It was like a journal with a fig leaf on it and a fig on it, and it was just beautiful. It was really well done, and Mike thought it was such a great gift that for his birthday, he thought it'd be a great idea if we basically took the book and sent the book around the community. And what people would do on our figs is actually open the book, basically sign it, write something nice, and then pass it along to somebody else on the forum. And this went on for many weeks, as you can see here. These are all the people from start to finish that received and sent the book to somebody else. So kind of insane. And people got really into this. There was also a really funny part of this, which was they called it the traveling pink pony, because if you guys know what My Little Pony is, it's like this children's toy that little girls like. And I don't know, I guess he bought one day and thought it would just be funny if people basically had the pony and then had to take a photo of yourself with the pony, and then just to know that you had the book, and to keep track of where the book was, and to kind of document the process, and also basically to kind of make this thing more fun, and to bring us all together, to create a community. And it did exactly that. And people really got, like I said, they got into it, and we sent each other cuttings and plants, and we made friends, and it was just great. It was what a community should be. And we even took that really many steps further, because we had fig gatherings where we got together at the Long Island Fig Festival that a friend Matt of mine used to host, and he's been running out of time in his life, so he hasn't had the opportunity to do the event anymore. But that was like one of those things that really brought us all together, and we were really a family. And there's many people that were at those events or have been on this forum since the beginning that really made this community special, and it just isn't that anymore. So and I guess in a short sense, it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense for me to put as much time and effort into a community that I had held so dearly. It really is a part of me, this community, when I don't necessarily have control over it. So I'm just kind of taking a step back, and I am still going to be a part of it, still going to be posting here and there, but again, it's not going to be anything like it used to maybe 6 months ago or a year ago. So I'm, as I said, if it's not something that I personally, it's my brand or my control, I just don't really see the point. Plus, in a sense, it actually benefits me to post on my blog rather than on a forum. So there's obviously some pros and cons here, and I know someone's going to ask, well, Ross, why don't you just create your own forum or your own community? No, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. I don't want to babysit adults. I don't want to organize people. That's incredibly difficult, incredibly annoying, and just really not worth it. And I'll end up hating human beings forever. So, big shout out to all the moderators at RFigs, even to Wills. Again, there's absolutely no hard feelings about the forum. It's just really the biggest thing is that I don't have time, and the community is just not the same. So, and at the same time, I am recommending that you guys go and be a part of this forum. And which sounds a bit strange, but I will say that, there will be a time, at least at some point, where the community or a community of fig growers will once again become such a tight-knit group. And at that moment, I will gladly be willing to dedicate more of my time. Until that happens, I'm just going to really stick with the friends I have and I've made, and I'm really continuing to make. There are some great people that have joined the community as of recent. People like Eric. I really liked Lance. I know he's kind of disappeared. Also, SoCal Figs, really big fan of that guy. There's been some newer people that have come in, and this is just the more natural process of a community and how, new people join, and a lot of people don't end up sticking around, and a lot of the older people that have been on the forum for a long time kind of step away from it, and maybe they'll come back, and it's just, it's just a cycle. So whatever it is, those are my thoughts. So announcement number 3 is that we actually have an update to the Staten Island Fig Festival. So for 2020, as you guys know, with coronavirus, the pandemic, it's just not happening this year in person. It's a great event, and I've been there. This would be my 5th year, but it's not happening. It's not going to be just a local event. So what they are doing, though, instead is actually a virtual event. And I was asked, believe it or not, to be a part of a panel of fig growers in the Northeast to, I guess, host some kind of something. I don't know the exact details, but us as a panel, I believe, is going to be talking for like an hour or so. Maybe we're going to be answering people's questions or giving people information. I don't exactly know how this is going to go. In fact, the whole thing just seems a bit unorganized so far. But what you can do if you want to see the event is that you can actually sign up and buy tickets. I went to the Lighthouse Museum's website because it's being hosted basically through a lighthouse museum, and this is where the event took place last year in Staten Island. And yeah, it says here, according to the article I read on Staten Island Live, Kandari, which is my friend Peter Kandari, is among the guest speakers at the Fig Fest this year, held in a 2-session virtual Zoom session starting at 6 p.m. from the National Lighthouse Museum. on September 15th. Tickets for a link to the session are $10. A 1-hour fig and food wine pairing will be broadcast live from the museum that evening starting 7:30 p.m. There'll be 15 seats available for a socially distanced dinner for anyone that's interested in actually going to the museum and being a part of this in person. You can. And you can obviously call the museum for more information at that number. I went on their website, tried to even get a ticket, couldn't get a ticket. So I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what time this thing starts. I was told to be available at 5:30 p.m. on September 15th. And I think we're going to talk for like an hour. So, yeah, that's the best information I got. But the panel is honestly some of the most respected growers in the Northeast, which is kind of insane. I would have thought maybe there'd be some Joe Schmoes on the thing, but there isn't. In fact, it's me, it's Peter Kinderi, who's been a big part of Belle Claire Nursery, and also a big proponent in the Northeast of growing figs. There's Danny Gentile, who runs FigBid. There's my friend Jamie, who's been growing figs just as long as I am and is just as obsessed as I am. There's Coop, the founder of or the finder of the Godfather fig, for anyone that knows about that fig, who's also been growing figs for a very long time. So it's going to be a good panel. It's going to be a good talk, whatever it is. And this is a great opportunity, at least for you guys that are too far away to not participate in the festival, to now actually be a part of it. So this is the one little opportunity, at least that's how I see it. Also, I think it's pretty cool from my perspective to actually be a part of this, even though it's not really happening. So I'll be there for the 5th time in a row, which I think is pretty darn cool. Now, the last little thing here that I want to share with you guys is actually I have a request. We're going to make 2 videos. And we're going to make one video basically on how to prune some fig trees, and then another video on kind of helping your sickly trees along. If you have a tree that's not doing well, it's not producing well, it just has some issues, we're going to make a video on that. So what my request is if you guys have a tree that you're not sure of how to prune it, you're not sure how to improve the health of the tree, what I want you to do is take some photos and send them to me. You can either send them to me through Facebook or Instagram. You can private message me there. Or you can send it to me in an email. And you can go to our YouTube page, go to the About section, and you can go down here for a section here about business inquiries. You just click on this and you can send me an email directly. So include photos of your tree, and the photos, please guys, should be very clear, high quality. You want shots of your tree, so you want them close up. I want to see what the bark looks like. I want to see what the branches look like. I want to see what the trunk looks like. And I want to see some wide shots. I want to see multiple angles, multiple views. Don't skimp out on this. Send me as many photos as you can. And also take a photo of the soil. I want to see what the soil looks like. I want to see if it's in a pot. I want to see if it's in the ground. I want to see what's around the tree. And here's what you do. In the message that you're going to send me, I'll put this in the description, by the way, of what you should send me here, because I need some additional information. If your tree's not doing well, I need some additional information. If you want me to teach you how to prune your tree, you need to tell me at least where you live. So at the minimum, tell me where you guys live, what city you're in. So as an example, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is what the email is going to say. Just have all the photos at the bottom or at the top, your location. So Philadelphia, PA. How much rain do you get annually? So I put down 40 inches of rain. My tree is in full sun. How much sunlight hours does your tree get? What size pot is it, or is it in the ground? So how many gallons of soil is your tree in? Also, what is the soil composition? My trees that are in the ground, I have a clay soil. The trees that are in the pots, it's half compost, half pine bark. And then any other additional microclimate considerations, microclimate details you would like to include in terms of maybe you have additional heat in this location. Maybe it's a colder location. Maybe it's on a low spot or a high spot in the yard. Maybe there's a lot of wind. You know, really anything you can think of in terms of your microclimate. As much detail as you can give me, the better, but I don't want a whole essay here because I have to read through all this, and it's a lot to read through all these different emails and messages I'm probably going to get. So, and then at the end, if you have one question, you can ask me one question, and I will try to answer that one question for you guys in the video, and we're going to put them all together. We're going to look at the photos, look at what you guys are doing, and we're going to basically do essentially some consulting for you guys for free. So, all right, everybody, that is the 4 announcements. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the pink pony story. Absolute insanity. And we will see everybody soon, all right? Stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you guys for tomorrow's video. It's going to be on grapes. Take care.